Well, welcome guys to the Untitled Podcast, name pending, friendship we made along the way. I'm Ricky Lee. This is, I don't know if I'm allowed to use guys' real names.
Yeah, I'm Ezekiel. We'll go that much. Yeah.
And we have a third co-host with us. To introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Austin.
Alright, yeah. Alright, I don't know why you're watching this, but we've got 20 banger cards here. A lot of stinkers, a lot of bangers. Austin should be able to see my screen right now, so you should see a bunch of cards here on the screen.
All kinds of cards.
Yep, alright, we're gonna go through them all and just react. I guess, like, first of all, Ezekiel plays Pokemon,
Yeah.
the TCG, and then Austin plays Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game, and I play both. So I'll be that middle ground to make sure that none of them are gaslighting each other into saying, yeah, this card's amazing when it's actually horrible, or yeah, this card's horrible when it's actually amazing. So as a little warm-up round, I've started with...
Card.
This is a Magic the Gathering card, yes. This is Sheoldred the Apocalypse. So I figured this would be a good warm-up round since none of us play Magic. I play a little bit, so like I do know if this is a good one or not, but I'm assuming neither of you have ever seen this card once in your life.
I have not.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Nope.
so we'll run through it. It's a 4-cost card, 2 colorless mana, 2 black mana, legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. That little red thing means it's mythic rare. It's got a death touch. It's got whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, and then whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Its flavor text says Gix failed, I shall not. It's got 4 attack, 5 toughness. The artist is Chris Ron. I don't know, I got a really bad render of this. But yeah, I can give you guys some context if you guys need anything else. Like, Death Touch just means if it fights a creature at the end of combat, no matter how much damage you do, as long as you did at least 1 point of damage, that creature dies.
See you later, punk.
Yeah. I mean, I think this card's pretty self-explanatory. It's like 3 lines of text. You know, the other one's like every time you draw, you gain 2 life, just like Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever you draw once per turn, generally, unless you have some card effect, right? Same thing. Generally, your opponent draws once, so you can expect you'd probably get 2, and they'd lose 2 every turn. But what do you guys think? It's you go with Zeke first, I guess. I don't know. Do you think this is a stinker? Do you think this is broken?
Okay, so I played a little bit of Magic, but
Sure,
very
sure.
casually.
Okay, yeah. If someone drops this on you, how you acting? Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's quite a few like draw support cards in Magic where you can like draw more.
That's true.
But I don't think it's like specific to just like black decks.
Right, like blue cards generally do a lot of drawing, red
Yeah.
cards usually do burn damage, black
Yeah.
cards have like I sacrifice stuff to draw cards, so
Yeah, so I'm gonna assume this one is kind of is bad. I'm gonna say it's a garbage card.
just because it doesn't synergize with the black idea of like it seems more like a blue card to you maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if it was blue, I feel like it would be a pretty broken card.
Right. No, that's
From
fair.
my very
Yeah, like
minimal
imagine just like
experience.
Pot of Greeting or Professor's Research and you draw like 7 and gain like 10 life, right? Yeah.
yeah, but then like your opponent can do the same thing.
Fair. Okay, well, but this one's only when you draw a card you gain. When your opponent draws, they lose 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was like you lose too.
No.
Oh,
This is
Okay.
a one-sided card.
Yeah,
When
no,
you
this
draw,
is-
you gain. When they draw, they lose.
yeah, this card's busted.
You think this card's busted now, knowing that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, this card's busted.
Because it's a one-sided thing, maybe.
Yeah, because you can also there's probably cards that force your opponent to draw as well.
Interesting.
So if you're just like, you know,
If they have like 10 life, you could just make them draw 5 and they lose the game, maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna say this card's pretty busted. I changed my mind now.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Austin? What do you think? How's Sheoldred look to you?
Well, she looks amazing. Like, do you see the artwork on this thing?
Oh, this Chris did a great job. Yeah, you got the sunset in the back, the crazy horns. It's tough to see, but if you keep going further back, there's like some dragons flying. Like there's a
You
lot
say
of creatures.
Chris? How do you know?
Oh, so at the bottom of all the cards, it's
has the
really
artist's
really
name.
pixelated, but
Yeah.
Oh, it says the artist at the bottom.
it's really pixelated. Yeah, I just pulled this from Google Images, but
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that was on Magic cards. I guess I don't look at them a lot.
Yeah.
But
it is
It's
on.
also on Pokemon cards.
It's
where
on
they
Pokemon and
have the
Magic
artist.
cards.
Yeah.
On Yu-Gi-Oh, Konami, I believe most people have come to the conclusion that a lot of the Konami artists are probably under some kind of contract in something where they're not allowed to disclose names. I don't know that, but that's the general consensus. So.
Yeah.
we need credit for our
There
Konami
also was-
artists.
There also was a meme deck in Magic. It was based around squirrels.
Oh, and you have to guess like the name or something.
Yeah, and one of them was like, your opponent like picks like the top card off their library or something like that, and if you guess the name of the artist correctly, you get to like draw a bunch of cards or something along those lines. I don't remember
Man.
exactly.
That could really award you if you're like if you just
Yeah.
know like all
If
of
you
them.
know the artist.
Like if someone says Sheldred, you're like, oh, that's Chris Rain. I know that because I talked
Yeah.
about it on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really funny deck. There was like another card that was like, ask somebody if they like squirrels. If they answer yes, you get to draw 3 cards or something like that.
What if they say no though?
Then nothing happens.
Oh, okay. So you got to find a squirrel love.
Yeah, you gotta find a squirrel lover.
Yeah, Austin, what do you think though? How's enough stalling? How's Sheldred looking to you?
It's not stalling. It's not stalling.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
You guys kind of took that another direction. That's on you.
Got me there.
So I'm examining the card, right? I have very limited Magic knowledge. I didn't
You've
understand
played some
the
Magic,
artwork.
right? Like you at least know
played
the
a little
rules.
like casually with friends. I think
Okay.
I remember how to play. Like
Yeah.
play like one land every turn.
Yep, that's
By
true. You have
normal
one
game
land.
mechanics.
What's up?
By normal game mechanics, it's one land.
Yep, one land, one draw, one battle phase, 2 main phases similar to Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a draw step, an upkeep step, which is like Yu-Gi-Oh standby phase. I guess for more context, yeah, both players have 20 life points instead of 8,000 like Yu-Gi-Oh. So 2 life would be about what, a tenth of their life?
Yeah, that's like 800 in Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what
Okay, so that's a good context. Yeah, so it's like you draw, you gain 800. They draw, they lose 800. Yeah.
that actually seems really insane in Yu-Gi-Oh context. Like everything about this card just seems really insane. And I don't know if this is rarity, but it has this little gold
Mhm.
looking thing on the right hand side that makes me think it's like a high rarity.
Yeah, for more
I think-
context, that one's mythic rare. When it's red, it's mythic rare. When it's gold,
see,
it's
this thing is
rare.
busted.
When it's blue, it's uncommon, and when it's black, it's common. But just like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, just because a card's rare doesn't mean it's good. But generally, yeah, rare cards have good stuff, you know. So
No, I think Wizards of the Coast knows what they're doing. I think they made this. This is a good.
well, you guys are both right. Yeah, this card's a banger. Yeah, it's played in Grixis Control. It's funny that you talked about the blue thing. So you can play multiple colors in Magic. So
Yeah.
people do play like black-blue decks and stuff, and they'll do exactly what you're talking about, where you drop this guy in turn 4, and then turn 5 you play this other 5-drop spell that lets you draw like 5 cards. So your opponent just loses like 10 life, you gain 10 life, and then even like on its own, you can just like slap this guy down. And then you can just, like, wait a few turns, and, like, your opponent's not going to kill you because you're getting life every turn, but they're losing it. So it puts your opponent on, like, an immediate clock. This thing has Death Touch, too, so if it fights, like, a 10-20 monster, it doesn't matter. It's dead no matter what. And so what makes this card really good is that without any 3 of these effects, just being a 4/5 for 4 mana is already a banger, because most cards are usually, like, equal to their cost. Like, 1/1s usually cost 1 mana, 2/2s usually cost 2 mana. If you see a 4-mana card,
Stat-wise.
yeah, you're going to expect like a 4/4, right? So having the 5 toughness already makes it better than an average 4-drop. Having 3 lines of text already makes it better. And then having 3 lines of good text just, yeah, makes this card absolute banger. It's good. Okay, but that was the Magic portion. That was just our little warm-up. Next up, we've got nothing, because this is scuffed. Maybe Okay. Next up, Professor's Research. Zeke already knows about this card. I know about this card. Austin probably knows about this card because I remember you played the game a while back.
Is this Oh, you were telling me about this actually because there used to be a bunch of different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
As-
Professor Juniper. The first
Now
one
it's
was
just
Professor
kinda-
Oak. Yeah.
So for context, yep, when Austin and I played this game back in like 2015 maybe or something, whenever Seismitoad EX was like the card and stuff to play. Yeah, there's a supporter card called Professor Sycamore, and there was also another card called Professor Juniper, I believe. And
That sounds right.
Yep, it was in a weird spot where both of the cards were in rotation, and they both had the same effect where you discarded your hand and drew 7 cards. And the rule was you could only play a combination of 4. So you could either play like 4 Junipers or 4 Sycamores, so you couldn't play like, 8 of them in total and stuff. Yeah, you had to have some combination of 4. It was a really weird time and stuff. So, yeah, as you can see, in modern Pokemon 2022, what they decided to do was they just rebranched all the Professor cards into a card called Professor's Research. And if you look really closely on the top right there, it says Professor Oak. So now they just kind of say the name of the guy. But, like, as far as naming-wise and deck list-wise, you can only play 4 Professor Research. Even if you have, like, 4 Professor Research Professor Oak and 4 Professor Research Professor Juniper, you can't, like, play, like, 12 of these guys and stuff. So, yeah, that's what's going on with this card. This card's basically the Sycamore back then. But it's... sorry.
Do you think more players play 4 the same or 4 unique ones?
Most people I see play the same one.
Yeah, they pick like the most rare one they have 4 of, and they put that in the deck.
Yeah, they usually like...
As we all know, like, the rarer the card is, the more likely you are to draw it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's like the Doug thing, too, where, like, people just like matching rarities. So, I mean, there's people out there that mix and match, I'm sure, but, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for a little more context, too, since you stopped playing and stuff, at the bottom right, you also notice it says you may only play 1 supporter card during... Oh, no, that was always for you. Okay, so... One thing, though...
I remember that part.
Yeah, one thing, though, that did change was when we were playing, you were allowed to... If you won the dice roll and went first, you were allowed to play a supporter on the first turn. Now in Pokemon, if you win the dice roll, you can't play a supporter on the first turn, and then the person going second gets to play the first supporter. And then after that, you can each place 1 supporter per turn and stuff. So,
I don't even think that's, like... Sure, supporters are great and all, but I don't even think that's, like, that big of a deal. Like, you just need to open a decent hand. If you're playing a good deck, you should have like a decent hand.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah, it has been 7 years, so the power creep happens and stuff. So
I don't feel like there's anything really. I guess it's all set up, right? So that's what the first turn is really for.
Yeah,
you're gonna be up in energy, right?
Right, because you get the first attachment, you get the first evolution, you get the first meaningful attack. Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know. When I was playing, I feel like all the cards I wanted to, like, when I'd be in a situation where I want to discard my hand, draw 7 new cards, I felt like that was never, like, I was never looking for, like, a great setup. I just kind of was looking for some specific Pokemon that I was looking to kind of buff up, and that's kind of it. So, obviously very good, helps your consistency. Unfortunate that it can't be used on turn, but you're always going to play for these.
Well, you're correct, Austin. Yeah, this card's a banger. It's played it for like every single deck.
Yeah,
that's just kind of like the warm up round and stuff. So, all right, here's a Yu-Gi-Oh card for Zeke and stuff. Austin, I know about this card, but Zeke, there's not too much text on this. Foolish Burial. It's a spell card. It says you can send 1 monster from your deck to your graveyard, and the artist is unknown. It could be anybody.
Wow.
I could have drawn this.
I will say, I noticed it says Speed Duel.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Which is like, I played a little bit like the Speed Duel stuff because you like showed that to me, which is like older Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And I know.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna say I pulled this from Google Images, so you are correct. But this card can be used in both. It's just because a lot of cards get printed in both Speed Duels and the regular game and stuff. So I will tell you right now, this card does exist in the regular tabletop game, but yes, it also exists in Speed Duel and stuff. So sorry, go on.
Cool. I'm gonna say, like, right off the bat, my idea is that this card's pretty busted. Couple of reasons. I know, like, there's lots of monsters that have effects from the graveyard.
Right.
So if you could just, like, choose one and then just, like, throw it in your graveyard, or, like, some have to be, like, special summoned from the graveyard, like, only if they were, like, discarded from your deck to the graveyard. There's lots of, like, weird, like, mechanics like that.
Yeah, in that sense, it's almost like adding a card and stuff if it's got a graveyard effect.
Yeah.
Almost.
And let's see.
You're telling me you think there's cards that would have their strategy bolstered by dumping a card into the graveyard.
Yes.
Well, you're correct, Zeke. Yeah, this card's amazing. Every single tier lit player plays it. Every single graveyard strategy plays it. Yeah, it's basically just like searching for any card. Oh, there's lots of graveyard strategies and stuff. Pokemon has a few of them, but in standard, not really.
Lugia.
Oh, because the Archeops thing.
Yeah.
Would you play this in Archeops, Lugia?
Yeah.
Alright, well then, yeah. Okay. Alright, but yeah, those are... So yeah, so far we're doing warm-ups. I tried to, try to ease us into it, right? Alright, next one. This is for Austin. Actually, you might have seen this one when you were playing too, Austin. I think this was in rotation when we were playing.
It's been around since, like, the beginning.
Yeah. This is... In case you haven't, though, this is Quick Ball. You can play this card only if you discard another card from your hand, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Yeah, and then at the bottom, it gives rules about items. You may play any number of items during your turn. So that's all the same. It's been about 7 years since Austin's played this card. So do you think it's held up? Do you think it's a banger? What's your opinions?
Well, the hand size Pokemon again.
There's no hand size limit. Both players start with 7 cards, and both players draw on the first turn.
Okay, so you're starting with 2 more than you do
in Yu-Gi-Oh.
So,
Yep.
1 card means a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh player than a 2 player. Like, I don't know. I have such limited experience playing, but I felt like I always had like extra copies of cards. So I feel like discarding 1 random card to get any basic Pokemon is pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. This card's a banger.
I just don't know if it's been. Yeah, I just don't know if it's been power crap.
No, it hasn't. This card's still a banger.
Yeah, it's also pretty cool that you put the Pokemon into your hand, because there's a lot that have effects from, like, if you play this card from your hand, then, like, this happens.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Like the Shaman back in your day. So what makes this really good, though, is Pokemon Vs and Pokemon EXs counted as basic Pokemon. So you can just grab those. Yeah, so even though it's a basic, it's not really a basic. Yeah, this card's busted. Okay. Next up, this is not a Pokemon card. This is a Pokemon. This is... Yeah, this is for my Twitter bookmarks, posted by Out of Context Pokemon. You can find them at @OOC Pokemon on Twitter. But, what do you guys think? How does this make you feel?
I don't quite understand the context.
It's Out of Context Pokemon. That's perfect.
I do love this Pokemon quite a bit.
He's the second evolution of Fuecoco. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's when he's like that weird teenager stage.
Storm or taking a shower.
I think, yeah, you can bathe him.
Well, yeah, there's a little brush.
I don't know if it's like in game or if it's like through home, but like it is.
It's like a picnic thing. I haven't messed around.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, you guys like this?
Yeah,
he's getting cleaned up.
I do feel a little worried since he is a fire type.
Oh, yeah. But he's got the Charmander rules for that.
Yeah, he doesn't look. He looks happy.
Yeah.
He's definitely like belting Celine Dion.
Yeah, you guys are right. This is
a little bit of like soap in his mouth, though.
Yeah, so this is like a little bait and stuff, right? Because it's like, yes, this is during the picnic mode. Like Austin said, you can kind of like clean and wash your Pokemon. There's some soap and stuff. Out of Context Pokemon posted it because if you look at this out of context, it just looks like you're freaking what's that
like
torture?
Waterboarding.
Yeah, it looks like you're just waterboarding this poor guy. Yeah, but yes, in the video game, he would be quite happy for this happening. You're just cleaning him. It doesn't matter where you aim the water; they can't drown. So. All right, we got a Pokemon card for Austin. Here's Dan. He says, good old Dan. He says, you can draw 2 cards. You and your opponent play rock, paper, scissors until someone wins. If you win, draw 2 more cards. And he's a supporter. What do you think, Austin?
Wait, what on earth?
So basically, yeah.
This is
a real card. It is legal. I'll even go so far as to say it is legal in standard right now. You can play this right now. It's a supporter, so you can only play 1 at a turn. Basically, I'll even break down the effects. So basically, you play it. You always draw 2, and then you and me play rock, paper, scissors, and if you win, you draw 2 more. So it's either draw 2 or a draw 4 if you're really good at rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, really good at it. I think this is probably not.
What was that? You kind of cut off.
Oh, reasoning. Yeah. So I think this is probably not played. All the supporters, you only get 1 a turn, right? So it's got to be insane. And 4 cards is just not enough for a player. They need 7.
But you don't gotta discard anything.
That's true.
What if you're just amazing at rock paper? No, you're right. Yeah, this card's absolute garbage.
I will
This
say
is Cup of Ace. This is just Cup of Ace.
This is the
I will say it's great in a lot of my theme decks, but like that's not standard.
I mean, the big problem with this deck is in theme deck, right?
Yeah,
The big problem with this card is when you just look at research, right, where you're drawing 7 and you don't have to win rock paper scissors. This one, like, even if you're even if this card just said draw 4, it'd be garbage. That's so yeah. All right. This one's really tiny and stuff, so I'll zoom in a bit, but might be a little pixelated. All right, here's for Zeke.
Is that ramen?
Yeah, it's instant ramen. The card's called Instant Fusion. The artwork's a little play on words and stuff. So this says, okay, Instant Fusion spell card. Pay 1,000 life points. Special summon 1 level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, but it cannot attack. Also, it is destroyed during the end phase. And then it's got a little side note. This special summon is treated as a fusion summon. You can only activate 1 instant fusion per turn. So, what do you think? Yeah, it's a tricky. Take your time. Yeah,
there's quite a bit.
Take us
quite a bit going on here.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards are quite wordy. Take your time.
The last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I had Arn Dragon level 7 was
Right.
my deck, so that shows you how long it's been. So fusion monsters,
They're in the extra deck.
yeah, they're the purple ones, right?
They're the purple ones. Yep.
Okay.
So think like Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Gaia
Yeah.
the Dragon Champion.
But those are high level fusions.
Yeah,
Right,
this is
yeah.
level 5 or lower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for more context, Yu-Gi-Oh monsters can be anywhere from level 1 through, I believe, 12. There might be a few 13s in the game. I don't think there are, though. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this like right in the middle.
But it can attack, so you'd probably want to get one that has, awesome effects.
A banger effect, yeah.
But it has to have a banger effect that's worth an eighth of your total life
An eighth
points.
of your life points, yep. And
That's
yeah.
a prize.
And it's destroyed the Arnificers, so it'd have to be worth that one turn, yeah. So
Yeah.
So I guess for you it's really figuring out is there some card that comes out that's just worth it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, this one's a tricky one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my gut, but I also feel like my gut might be lying to me.
No, that's okay.
I don't think this is a very good card.
Just because it would require the card to be an absolute banger.
Yeah.
And it'd have to work like that turn.
Yes.
All right. So unfortunately, Zeke, you got you baited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's a weird one because right now this is absolutely one of the best cards in the game, only because specifically, this card got printed. That's exactly level 5 fusion monster. People don't really play it for its tech. They play it for its effect. It adds any card from their archetype to their deck. And then the drawback of this card that it's destroyed during the end phase. The card they bring out gets an effect when it's destroyed, so it's actually a good thing for them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then what's even more is even before that card was printed, just in general, this card's always been okay because it's a free summon, so you can use that monster for synchros, links, more fusion summoning, all sorts of stuff. You could even tribute the monster and just get a big monster. So there's tons utility, but you kind of have the right idea. Yeah, if you get a monster with even an okay effect, it's a free summon because it's a special summon. It doesn't burn your normal, all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, right. I did pick this one because right now in the meta game, people are calling for this card to be banned. It's limited. It's way too good right now just because of a specific monster. But in general, it's always good too. But no, I think you had a good idea though.
Yeah, he was definitely on the right track.
Yeah. Okay, so next up. Okay, apparently I can only go if it's 100%. Okay. All right, here's another one for you.
I know this one.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, do you?
I know this one.
What are the summon stage strategy?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not a good card.
Do you want to read it for the audience? What
sorry,
is
You see how much attack he has?
Yes,
Okay.
4,000!
Yeah, so it's Obelisk the Tormentor.
He is a level 3, 6... He's a level 12 monster, and he's divine. He's a divine beast effect. He requires 3 tributes to normal summon. He cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summon, cards and effects cannot be activated. Neither player can target this card with effects. Once returned to your end phase, if this card is special summon, sent to the graveyard. You contribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot declare attack the turn this effect is activated. 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Just take us through, Zeke.
Yeah. First of all, you have to
tribute 3 monsters.
Yeah. You have to tribute 3.
He's a god.
Yeah, he is a god. But like, there's so many like other Yu-Gi-Oh monsters that like special summon
and have more text, probably.
More text.
Yeah.
More broken abilities.
Have you looked at the art? What do you think about the artwork, man?
I think the artwork's like amazing.
Ripped.
Yeah, no, I was obsessed with the god cards in the show. But I will also say, so like this card is not very good in the meta, but it is, from what I've heard through the grapevine, the best of the Egyptian god cards.
Yeah, so you nailed on the head, Zeke. Yeah, the Egyptian gods are always the classic bait card where it's like, if you only know about the Yu-Gi-Oh through the show, you think like, well, he's a god and stuff. You see a big number and stuff. Yeah, you see lots of like fancy text and stars. You see like this card art work very intimidating. But yeah, it requires 3, which only happens on these specific guys. It's way too slow. It's not even a special summon, right? It's a normal summon, so now you're burning that, right? If we just look back to the last card of Instant Fusion, you're just playing a card, not burning your normal, and like you're basically winning the game. Whereas this one, yeah, you're waiting like 4 turns to summon this guy, assuming your opponent doesn't even like touch your board. And you even got further that there's 3 other gods. There's 2 other gods. There's Slifer and Ra. Yeah. And of the 3, this one's seen the most competitive play because once he's out, he doesn't really need that much setup. He's just like this 4,000k bozo that like can't be targeted. Because the other one's like Slifer, you need like a bunch of cards in your hand, and like I don't
like
think
what was the one card, like Muka, yeah. I remember thinking that card was broken, but then there's a hand size limit
on the plate. Yep, there's the hand size limit.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I can get him up to like 18,000 attack, but
no, it is funny though, because of all the gods, like this one actually did see competitive play way back in the day in regionals. People would play Sea Lancer Frogs just because you could special summon a bunch of monsters and then drop this guy, and in that format, finding removal that didn't involve targeting was really tough because I think Raigeki was banned at the time. Dark Hole might have been like a 1 of maybe. Mirror Force was probably like a 1 of, so it's just like if you didn't draw those, you just like lost the game. But yeah, now he's yeah, good job. All right, another magic card snuck its way in. All right, this is for you and Austin.
Mode.
Yeah, I'm sneaking. I'm keeping you guys on your toes today. This is Rafine Scheming Seer. So I know about this card. I'm assuming Zeke and Austin have never seen this card once in their life. Am I correct?
I have not seen
That's correct.
This.
Okay, so let's go through this. It's requires 1 white mana, 1 blue mana, and 1 black mana. So it's 3 converted mana costs. It's a legendary creature, Sphinx Demon. That little thing means it's mythic rare, just like the last one. It has flying. It has ward 1, and I'll take you through what ward means. Ward means if you target it, the effect is negated unless you pay 1 mana. So you got to pay a mana just to target this thing. And then this says, whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. And then it explains what conniving is. So conniving, you draw X cards, then you discard X cards. You put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each non-land discarded this way. And then finally it's a 1/4. It's drawn by our beautiful Johannes Voss. I'm probably butchering that, but I guess a little more context. We can kind of break this down. So yeah, it's a 3-drop guy, 1/4 flying. You got to pay 1 just to target it. And then every time he attacks, basically, let's say you attack with him by yourself, then that's 1 creature. So let's say you just attack with himself. You draw 1, then you discard 1. And then assuming you discard something that's not land, you get a +1/+1. But yeah, let's say you attack with like 5 guys, you draw 5, discard 5, get +5, right? Basically. So.
Right. So I have a quick question about that part.
Yeah.
Kind of speed through it.
Yep.
So when you say draw a card and discard a card, am I discarding the card I just drew?
You can discard any cards.
Discarding any of those 5 6 cards now.
Yeah, so you could discard the worst of your cards and stuff. You
Oh,
could, yeah, it's
right.
kind of like a graceful chair. Well,
Oh,
it's kind of like a Dark World Dealings. Yeah, you draw and then you choose a card to discard.
Yeah, that's number of attacking creatures. Okay, so yeah, the more guys you have,
The more guys you attack, the more you draw and
the more
discard.
cards you can filter through.
And
Okay,
then remember, every time, whenever you discard that way, you get to put a +1/+1 on each of the creatures attacking.
on each of the creatures.
Um,
This.
that creature. So it means like if he attacks by
Oh,
himself, he gets +1/+1. If he attacks with like him, Timmy, and Johnny, then Timmy and Johnny and him each get +1 each. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you can't put like yeah, you can't put like +3
like,
all on it. Yeah, they each get. It's a communism. They each get 1. So, but yeah, basically, if I were to break this card down in layman's term, it's flying. It's like every time you attack, all your monsters attack and get +1/+1, right? And then you draw and discard. That's like a really layman's term way to describe what this card is actually doing. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys can kind of co-op this too if you want.
Yeah. No, I think the card's pretty good. Like, for one, it has flying, so if you attack with it, if your opponent doesn't have any flying,
It just gets in there.
then it's like a direct attack. Yeah. The ward's also helpful because like if you're trying to like summon, like a big boy, if you tap all your land, then you're not able to get that 1 mana left.
Right.
The 3 different colors is pretty standard, I feel like, in Magic. Normally it's like 2 or 3 colors. That's not a problem. And like I know there's a lot of
There's a lot of like dual lands and stuff.
dual lands or
like
artifacts
like
and stuff.
There are artifacts. That's true. Yep. There's even some creatures that do it.
That would help with that. Plus, it helps you like. I know in Pokemon it's really helpful to like go through your deck and like get rid of all the cards you don't need for like the specific setup.
So even though it's not a +1, you're still cycling through.
You're still cycling through.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they can get pretty big depending on how many creatures you attack with.
Well, it's each of the creature gets +1. No, it's worded really weird. So it means let's say I'm fighting by myself. I attack you. Now I get +1. Let's say you and me are attacking. We both fight. We each get +1. Does that make sense? We don't each get +2.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's because
It's because it says put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Oh wait, hold on. What does it say?
non-land
Target
card-
attacking connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay, let's break it. Target. Whenever you attack, target attacking. Oh, you know what? I don't even know what this card does. I apologize. Okay, this card says whenever you attack. I am now attacking with Rafine. A target attacking creature. I'll target Rafine. I connive X. What's X? X is the number of attacking creatures. I have 1 creature. X is that 1. I will draw 1 card. I'll discard 1 card. How many cards is discard? 1, so I'll put a +1/+1. Yeah, so let's say we attack with 3 creatures.
on land.
We'll target Ravine, and then we'll connive 3 because there's 3 attacking creatures.
So he gets 3 plus.
So,
1
yeah,
plus
okay,
1
I
powers.
apologize. This card does not work the way I thought it was. You target one of your creatures to become big. And yeah, if you draw more, so it's either one of your creatures can get +1/+1, one of your creatures can get +7/7. You draw attack with 7. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So is this like can you do this with all of your attacking creatures? Is it? Or
You
is
only
this
get
like
to.
You only get to target
one.
1.
Yeah, but I mean, like you could target like Rafine has flying, so that would be like a direct attack. Or if you had like a smaller creature that had trampling, you could use that as well to like get that to go across. I think this is pretty good. I was wrong last time though, so maybe I'm lying, but I think this is a pretty good card.
What do you think, Austin?
I am in the same train of thought. Kind of what you're saying. It's like a 3 drop with all the different types of lands and the ways you can get them. I don't think it's like 3 unique is that big of a deal. And it's like 1/4, so the toughness is really good. And that's even if they have flying. And they're
Flying
not
would
dealing with it anytime unless they have extra mana.
Extra
If
mana,
they deal
yeah.
with it, they're not doing their other plays. So then it's like I don't know. I think this thing just puts on a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you guys got it. This is like the best creature in the game right now. Even better, surprisingly, than the last one I showed you. Yeah,
no,
just
like,
because
you're gonna have like other creatures out when you bring it out. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
and you could probably easily get like token creatures.
Yeah, I mean, the dream setup would be like play a creature turn 1, play a 2-drop turn 2, and on turn 3 drop this thing, and on turn 4, once its summoning sickness goes away, attack with this and like 4 dudes, draw 4 cards, discard like absolute shitters, and just like absolutely blow your opponent away. No, good job, you guys did it, you guys. All right, Austin, here's a trainer card. It's a Skyla supporter.
I remember this one.
Yeah, you can search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It's been 7 years though. What do you think? Do you think it holds up?
Any trainer card?
Any trainer cards. So that's a supporter, an item, a stadium, a Pokemon tool. The only thing it wouldn't be is like energy in Pokemon.
There are some really good trainer cards. There are some really good stadium cards. I think this is probably still good. Like you probably play like one of this, maybe 2 of this. I don't know.
All right, so Zeke, do you want to take him through?
Yeah, this card kind of sucks.
Oh.
Because you can only play 1 supporter card per turn, right?
Yeah.
So you're wasting your supporter to get a trainer card, which
But it could be any trainer card.
Yeah,
right,
but
it could be a supporter
cards-
card that you can't play because you've played this now. Yeah, it's kind of like the Pot of Duality. Like, imagine if, like, Pot of Duality said, like, draw 1 card, right? And then it's like, now you can't normal summon, and, like, now you can't play, like, other, like, pot cards. And it's like, right.
It's a trade-off.
Like, if this card was, like, attached to an item, this card would be amazing. Yeah, because you can just grab anything. But, yeah, because it's using your supporter return, it means, like, you're not doing research that turn. You're not doing any of the other banger supporter cards and stuff, so.
Yeah, no boss's orders.
Yeah. No, also, you got baited. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. No, yeah.
You got distracted by Skyla being really pretty.
Yeah. Oh, she's just gorgeous. Yeah. No, I mean,
many might have fallen for that.
I got baited by this card too when I first started playing because I thought the same thing. I said you can just get anything, and like from a Yu-Gi-Oh perspective, like that's busted.
I think it had like a full art too.
Yeah. No, I specifically picked this one because I'm like, this looks fancy. Yeah. You see a full art, you're like, oh, whoa, like this has to be like $100 card. Yeah. No.
I mean, she's probably still worth a lot.
Oh yeah,
full art.
The art alone, yeah. No, this card is the ultimate debate. Yeah, I'm sorry, I tricked you guys. All right. Next one we got for Ezekiel here. This is the Calculator, a light level 2 thunder monster with an effect. Its effect is the attack of this card is the combined levels of all face-up monsters you control times X. So that's why the attack and defense is $0. It always has 0 defense. The question mark just means it's whatever face up. So by itself, it's what? 2 times 300, that's 600. If you get like him in a level 4, that's 6 times 3, so that's 6, 12, 18, so on and so forth. So what do you think?
I feel like this card's actually pretty good because you can do lots of like special summonings of like really high monsters pretty easily.
And they each have levels that you special them.
Yeah, and they're like levels like 10.
Yeah.
Like,
and I will say in Yu-Gi-Oh you can have up to 5 on the field.
Yeah.
So, but
does that include like the link areas?
Okay, yep, this is the important part too. Yeah. So Link monsters and Exe monsters do not have levels. The only monsters that have levels are the regular monsters, and then Synchro monsters, Fusion monsters, Ritual monsters. I will say this also counts your opponent's face-up monsters if they have any too. So yeah, but it would not count Links and Ritual.
It's attack of all face-up monsters you control.
Oh, sorry, I lied.
Yeah.
You control. Yeah. So yeah, but if you have Links and Exes, it won't count those ones, but it'll count the rest of them. So.
I still think it's good. I feel like it's helpful like near end game where you already have like most of your field set up and then you can just like plop this guy down too and it's just, another like pretty strong attacker.
7 and him, that'd be 9 times 2, that's like 2,700 by himself, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so unfortunately Zeke got baited.
Okay.
This card sucks. Yeah, I mean, you could come up with like a strategy maybe where, like you said, maybe you do some like crazy setup and like drop him as the last one, swinging for like 4,000 damage. You can get him to some crazy attack. Unfortunately, it's just like he doesn't have any other effects really, so it's kind of hard to bring him out. When you're normal summoning him, it means like you're not really normal summoning any of your other guys and stuff. The other problem is like Yu-Gi-Oh's really fast and stuff, so it's gotten to the point where like unless you're like killing your opponent first turn or just locking them out of the game, it's not doing much, right? He doesn't have any of those. He doesn't have any like effects that lock people out. He doesn't have any like special summoning things. And then like yeah,
and he's pretty vulnerable to any kind of interruption your opponent might have.
Right, because yeah, you might get the dream setup where you get a bunch of guys, bring this guy out, swing with 8,000, and suddenly they flip a Mirror Force or something, and you're like, well,
or like something to negate his effect. And then he's
true. There's a lot of effect negation too, and then yeah. So this is one important one that I should have mentioned. Yeah, sorry. If a monster's attack is question mark and its effect becomes negated, it counts as 0 attack. So that's another trick. Yeah. Yeah. No, sadly, it's just like there's too many ways to out him, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments will play this at 3 of it and it'll jump to $1 million and prove me to the dunce today. But until then,
level 2, you could play it in Sprite.
You can play it in Sprite, yeah. All right, we got one for Austin. Aurora Energy. It's a special energy. You can attach this card to one of your Pokemon only if you discard another card from your hand. As long as this card is attached to Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but provides only one energy at a time. And I don't know who drew this. It doesn't say, so could be anyone.
I like it. It's not colorless. It's every color.
Yeah, people call this rainbows. Yeah. It's the opposite of colors.
Yeah, no, this is I guess it depends on the deck you're playing. Like I know there's a lot of decks that use like one type of energies or like maybe two. Like it's gonna be mostly one, maybe a couple of another. And I don't remember. Okay, so it says special energy. That means right?
Yeah, so you have basic energies where they're like basic lands, you can play as many. With special energies, they follow the same rules as the rest of the cards where you can only have 4 copies.
Okay, 4 copies.
So you could play anywhere from 0 to 4 of this card if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think this is decent. Like, depending on if you have like the right strategy, I think this is very playable.
Yeah, you're right. This card's great.
Yeah, it's really popular in like the number 1 single prize deck right now.
Reggies,
it might be number 2 now because Lost Box.
But still popular. Yeah, Reggies.
Is the Reggies? Yeah.
Different ones.
Yeah, so the Reggies, yeah, all 6 of them are a different type. One of them's even colorless. But yeah, all their attacks require different types of energy. And then it's funny, the discard actually is a bonus for them because they have an effect where they grab energies from the discard pile. So the idea is you use this to actually help your strategy, get all your stuff in the discard, and then use your ability to scoop up all that energy into it. And then this can like kind of be like the bridge and stuff if you're missing like that one fire, that one earth, or that one water, whatever. Yeah. Sanders just played this in his Evital deck, same concept. You have a wide variety. A lot of times the discard can actually benefit you.
Yep. It's also popular in Blissey because you can, again, like discard the other energies with Blissey V. And
then you load it up. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of strategies that involve loading up your graveyard with energies, which is funny because, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually the idea is to like load up the grave with monsters. This one's like in Pokemon. It seems there's a lot of strategies where you load up your deck with energies. So yeah, great job, Austin. Okay, now we've got a Yu-Gi-Oh card for Zeke. This is Montage Dragon. Montage Dragon, an Earth monster. It is 3/6/8, level 8. It's a dragon effect monster. It says this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by sending 3 other monsters from your hand to the graveyard. This card's attack is equal to the combined levels of the sent monsters times 300. And again, we've got that question mark text, so it's so just to kind of guide you through, basically.
So it's like the last guy.
You always need to send 3. So its attack is basically 3,000.
Yeah, but if I learned my lesson from the calculator, this card is not very good. But then again, now I don't know. I've been wrong like 8,000 times today.
I'm making this a tricky one for you guys.
What are the similarities you see between?
Yeah, what are the similarities?
So like
take us through.
The question mark attack.
Right.
So then if something like negates effects, then he's 0.
That is correct. Yes.
But you do also get to send 3 monsters from your hand to the graveyard.
Right.
So if they had like graveyard effects or things like that, that would be really helpful.
It might not even be a cost in some scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I will say, yeah, this one's always going to be 3,000 because you have to send 3 and it's times 3. So, or, no, that's how math works. Oh, this card doesn't work out. Oh, sorry. It says the attack is equal to the combined levels.
Yeah.
So let's say you sent
3 level 1s.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that great because that'd be, what, 300. But if you sent, like, 3 level 4s, that'd be, like, 4, 8, 12. That'd be, like, someone do the math.
Yeah, 2,600.
Thank you. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to have a math degree to figure out if this card's good or not.
Well, no, because, like, yeah, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say the card's actually good because you do get to send, like, the monsters from your hand to the graveyard. And that's a lot easier than already having, like, your board set up, like, with the calculator. So I feel like you put this in here to trick me after you were like, calculator's trash.
Well, Zeke, unfortunately, you've been double tricked. This card still sucks. Yeah,
you lied by telling the truth.
I lied by telling the truth. It's just like the calculator. Well, I will say that you came with some big idea. Like this card could be okay because you could just send like 3 guys and stuff. This one's gonna be a really, really weird one. There is a strategy that involves putting lots of cards in the graveyard and stuff. Unfortunately, all their effects only happen if they're sent by a card effect. And I know you're saying, well, this is clear, like card effect. It's actually a cost because you're sending 3 in order to summon it. And since cost don't count as effects, that's weird and stuff. But yeah, I mean, just on a fundamental level, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Card advantage, right? Let's say you have this and 3 other cards, so you have 4 cards in your hand. You summon this, now you've got 1 card, so you call that a -3, right? And then, like the similar thing, if it just gets hit by like a Meteor Force effect negation, now you've put all this resources into nothing. But, I mean, there could be some strategies this is okay in, because it's like, you could just set up a huge grave and stuff. But, generally, those decks that do that have on-theme members that already do that for them. They don't really need like a guy with big attack, they just need guys that help them special summon more guys than themselves, or add more guys, or maybe send more cards from deck to grave. But yeah, I'm sorry, Zeke. I debated you again.
It's a big commitment. The 3 monsters.
It's a big commitment.
Like, if you have 3 monsters.
All right, Austin. We've got hiding energy for you. This is a special energy. This is that's really what that symbol just means. It provides dark energy. So, but
okay, dark energy. Yep.
Yeah. So as long as this card is attached to Pokemon, it provides dark energy. The dark Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat costs. That's really about it. What do you think?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm assuming you remember retreat cost. That's like when your active Pokemon's there, you can get it out and swap it out for another guy, but you have to pay the retreat cost for it. Some Pokemon have 0 retreat cost. A lot have like maybe 1 or 2. Snorlax might have like 4 or something.
Yeah.
Most of them usually have anywhere from like 0 to 3, depending on.
But it's like the energies on them.
It's the energies.
You have to discard those energies in order to take them out of the active spot. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll even go further and tell you that among dark Pokemon, they're usually quite similar. There's some dark Pokemon that have no retreat costs, some dark Pokemon that have a retreat cost and stuff. So, yeah, this one kind of gives you like a free retreat cost basically, and it provides dark energy. So
that seems very good. Like I know the boss's orders cards, like pick something and bring it out.
Yeah, it swaps your opponent's cards and stuff.
Right. So, if that card must be good, then hiding something on your bench would be very good also.
It could counteract that maybe, right? They force you out. You can be like, checkmate, asshole, I've got this, and swap out maybe.
Yeah, if it doesn't get 1 shot.
So what do you think?
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
It's tricky. What do you? Yeah, no, I'm trying to keep you guys on your toes. What do you think?
About a supporter card, like this is. I don't the retreat cost being that high.
Yeah, the biggest retreat costs I ever get are 4. Most of them are usually like 1 or 2 and stuff. There's a few like legendaries that have 3, but
that's what I thought.
And then there's even some basic Pokemon that have no retreat cost. So, yeah.
But then you said, and maybe you were trying to throw me off the scent, or maybe you were trying to help me. But you said dark Pokemon usually have. I don't know if you said usually, but you said some of them have no retreat. Dark
Pokemon are usually about the same. They're like yeah. I didn't want you thinking like, oh, all dark Pokemon have no retreat costs anyway, so why you play it? There is a benefit where dark Pokemon generally have retreat costs just like any other Pokemon, so yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll say this is there's probably like a good dark deck out there somewhere. I'll say this card's okay. I'll say it's good.
Yeah, you're right. There's lots of good dark decks, and yeah, this is their special energy. Usually, they play the basic ones, and then 4 of these and stuff, just because, like you said, yeah, it's free retreat costs. Like,
yeah, I think Gengar VMAX has the 3 retreat cost.
So you put this on him, and suddenly you just pivot around.
Retreat.
And a really cool thing with Gengar VMAX is, yeah, he can't attack and stuff. So then, like, if you put this on, you can just tag out. Now he's considered new Pokemon and stuff, yeah. Right?
And then there's also a couple of like dark decks that really like poisoning like your opponent's Pokemon.
And you can cure poison just by retreating.
Retreating, yeah. And then you'll play like Galarmine.
Oh yeah.
Which like increases the retreat cost
by 2, which is so annoying.
Yeah, so if you have hiding energy on your
suddenly,
own Pokemon,
yeah, you're like,
it doesn't matter.
It's like joke's on you, it'll hurt you, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, Austin brought up a really good point. Yeah, I was proud you caught this. Boss's Orders are a really popular card. People will either play it to one-shot a Pokemon on the bench by scooping it up, or they'll pick a Pokemon with huge retreat cost that doesn't have any energy, slap it on, and kind of, yeah, and just force your opponent to, like, come up with some plan to get rid of it. Otherwise, like, you're just sitting on this Pokemon that's not doing anything, passing every turn, yep. So you're right, yep, this is a great out to that. If you're playing a dark deck, why not play it? It's special, right? There's a few niche scenarios where, like, you get negative effects from having special energies, but for the most part, this card's quite good. Oh, and I'm zoomed in again, so I gotta Scuff Stream Podcast. Okay. Now I've got one for Ezekiel.
Is that Jinzo?
No. I'll say the card art works. Yeah, that guy on the left, I believe he's like Underworld King of the Abyss or something, and then the one on the right is Dark King Hades and stuff. That's just a little nod off to how the card works. So, the name of the card is Dark Ruler No More. It is a spell card. It says you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. That's about it. What do you think? Yeah, there's a lot to read, so...
Yeah, no, you're good. I just know, like, the meta with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now is very monster effect heavy.
That is true, yes.
So, negating all the face-up monsters' effects of your opponent would be pretty cool, pretty good. And then you can't respond by using
their own card effects.
A monster effect, yeah. And so, like, people aren't playing, like, D-Spell or, like, other
They need, like, a spell or trap thing to respond to. Right,
and, like,
right.
Most cards aren't
But if
playing a lot of those.
Like if they just have 5 Bozos on the field, you can blank them.
I will say the fact that your opponent doesn't take damage is kind of a big setback.
You're not killing them the turn you play this, right?
Yeah, but if you could clear their board...
and then maybe set up your own board and stuff, then it might not matter.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna say this card's good. This card's good, because, yeah, it gets rid of all the effects from your opponent, your opponent's monsters.
You want to tell them, Austin?
Yeah, Dark Ruler No More is an extremely good card.
Yeah, you got it, Z. Yeah, no, it's for all the reasons you said. Yeah, the meta is very, very monster heavy. Lots of people just love dropping 5 Bozos on the field with 7 lines of text. You play this card, they're not doing anything. Yeah, you're not taking damage, but again, like you said, yeah, you clear their board and then you set up your own board, and now their only response really is to draw their own Dark Ruler No More, really, and then you get kind of this back and forth game until one person says, nope, I don't got anything, next turn you're killing me. So, yeah, good job. I'll even go further and say, like, the spell and trap thing you came up with was true, too. A lot of people in response have started playing cards like Solemn Judge or something, which are trap cards to negate this, yeah. Alright, we got one for Austin. Yeah, sorry, I throw a lot of supporters your way, they're tricky. Alright, this one's Bird Keeper. Okay, it's a supporter, yep. It says, you switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, draw 3. You can only play 1 supporter per turn. What do you think? It's illustrated by Hideki Ishikawa.
Switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So this is just like the Dark Energy. It's like a tree.
Yep, it's a retreat, and then you draw 3, and it's attached to a supporter.
But it's a supporter, so it's always competing with all those other good cards that I don't know, but I'm sure exist.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole challenge of this game, that you guys have this vast knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards, but not of the other games. Yeah, so you gotta figure out, okay, how does this compare? Yeah.
I think there's enough switching cards that you don't need the 3 cards. Like, people don't play this.
Especially in supporter form, maybe. Unfortunately, Austin, I've debated you. Yeah. You're kind of right. Like, this card's not amazing. Like, it's not like a mandatory 4 of our deck, but there are a few strategies out there that play this card. Just because, like, okay, it's weird. It's because there's another Pokemon card called Eldegoss V that grabs supporters from graves. So this can just be kind of like a late game card where, like, you need that switch. And then, like, I guess the other tricky thing is that there's not really other supporters in the game that do this effect where you switch your own Pokemon. And even if they do, they definitely don't do the switch and draw 3, which is just a bonus. So yeah, people mostly play this because it's a late game supporter they can just kind of grab from the grave, get a switch anytime, right? Things like that, so... It's a tricky one. It's definitely not a banger like Professor's Research, but it's not like a Garbo card like Dan. So.
Yeah. It's a C+ card.
Yeah. So
B-.
It's right in the middle. So yeah, we'll give you half a point and stuff. Yeah. All right, Zeke, we got United We Stand. That little symbol means it's a equip spell. That's when you attach to a Pokemon to a monster. Sorry.
Yep.
And then it says the equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face of monster you control. Artist is unknown. What do you think?
And
then
like that meme.
Yeah, sorry. I will say. Oh yeah, it's like
United States of Smash. Okay,
I was thinking no, it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger shaking hand. Yeah. I will say too. A little ruling too. The face of monster you control, it does count the monster itself. So let's say you know what.
So at the very least, it's 800.
Yep, and then the more bozos you get, it's 800. You can only control 5. So the biggest you get is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like 35 plus. Maybe.
Yeah. From my understanding, most equipped spells are pretty garbaggio. Because there's just so many responses to them. Because they stay in the back row, right?
The spells do, yeah.
Yeah, so then, like, Harpy's Feather Duster would, like, just get rid of it.
Yep, because this counts as a spell. That's correct.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna say it's not a good card.
Yeah, you got it. This card sucks.
Yeah.
That's not much to say. There's maybe a few cheese strategies where you could, like, play an equip-based deck and OTK your opponent. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, when you play a spell, you want to do something like Dark Ruler where you're just blanking your opponent's board, doing Dark Hole or Regek, you're just blowing up the field and stuff. This card doesn't really 800 attack. It's 800 attack, but all right.
Like, you might be able to sneak in there one time. And just
there's some cheeses you can do for sure, but yeah, in the meta game, if you ask a player, like, will you play 3 of this in your deck, most of them will say no.
Yeah.
All right, Austin, we've got Hop, a supporter, draws 3. What do you think?
Supporter draw 3?
Yeah.
No way. This is good. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's just one line attacks, 3 words.
3 cards. I feel like that's... No. This is not played.
You don't think this is bait? You don't think this is, like, secretly some part of some broken strategy?
You know, like you said, the other one, the draw 3 was like a bonus. So if it's only like a bonus to do that...
No, you're right, Austin.
Yeah.
This card sucks.
There's so many better cards.
I just wanted to keep you on your toes and make you maybe second guess yourself. No, card... But I will say, I appreciate this card's existence because it isn't standard. You can play it. It's the ultimate, like, test of, like, how good people are at appraising cards, because lots of beginners will, like, look at cards like these and stuff to be like, wow, I draw 3. I'll cram 4 of these in my deck with my 4 Skylas so I can search it with Skyla on my first turn and then play it on my second turn, draw 3. But
exactly.
Yeah, no. Compared to Research and all the other primo draw spells, this one's... Yeah, draw 3 in Yu-Gi-Oh would be amazing, but yeah, unfortunately...
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Right,
like,
that's the bait. That's the bait. No, you can't.
Yeah, you should play one of these in your deck. Yeah.
No, you just gotta remember, when you're playing Research or drawing 7, like, it's just way better. Okay. Alright, Ezekiel, there's a lot of text on this one, so here we go. Evenly matched, trap card. At the end of battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. What do you think? Yeah, there's a lot to take into, so if you need any more context, we'll...
Yeah. I will say the card art is pretty badass.
It's a banger. You got 4 dudes fighting and stuff. Yeah.
And the one guy looks familiar. The one, like, in the back with the cape.
Yeah, all 4 of these guys come from the samurai kind of like storyline and stuff. There's like Shia and Kizan, and yeah, this is part of that story where they're now fighting as warlords, kind of as a nod off to Japan's like Warring Stages era.
The feudal era.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, it's one of the shames where we don't get the card artist because it's beautiful. Yeah, the artwork at least. So, but what about the card effect?
I'm gonna say this is actually a pretty good card, if I do say so myself. The fact that it like evens the playing field, I guess.
As the name implies, yeah.
It banishes them. It doesn't send them to the graveyard. I think that's also really helpful, really cool. And then like if you have no cards, you can just be like, boom.
You just slap it down like flex tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, Zeke. This card's a banger, yeah. This card's a tricky one, too, because it's a trap card, right? Usually those are slow. You got to set them first, but for all the reasons said, if you have no cards, you can just slap it down, so it's almost like a spell card. The banishing thing you said was correct, too. A lot of cards get their effects when they're sent to graveyard. This banishes. And then it's even it took a step further. Some cards even get their effect when they're banished face up, but this one specifically banishes them face down. It's very, very difficult to interact with Yu-Gi-Oh cards once they're banished face down.
Those ones are pretty much gone forever.
Yeah, it's like the Lost Zone.
Yeah, this card's amazing. All right, Austin, we've got Yugioh V-Star. There's a lot of text on this one, so it's almost like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. We'll take you through it. It says it evolves from Yugioh V. Its HP is 280. It is a colorless Pokemon. It has 2 things that it does. First of all, it's got an attack. It costs 4 colors. Tempest Dive. It does 220 damage, and you may discard a stadium and play. And then it's got a V-Star power. That means you can only do it once per game, which it mentions in the thing which we're about to read. So this V-Star power is an ability. It's called Summoning Star. During your turn, you may put up to 2 colorless Pokemon that don't have a rule box from your discard pile onto your bench. And then it mentions that too. Pokemon V, Pokemon GX, etc. have rule boxes. And then you can't use more than 1 V-Star power in a game. Finally, it's got double weakness to lighting. It's resistance 30 to fighting. It's got a retreat cost of 2. And it has the V-Star rule that every V-Star has. When your Pokemon V-Star is knocked out, your Pokemon takes 2 prize cards instead of 1. It is illustrated by Planeta Mochizuki. And then I guess I'll go even further and say that, yeah, Pokemon V are the rule box Pokemon, like Vs and V-Stars, and then all the rest are non-rule box Pokemon, so like basic Pokemon, evolution Pokemon usually, like all the single prize Pokemon. So.
Yep, except for Radiant.
Right, yeah, which are like the one-ofs and stuff. But if you need more context, we can kind of take you through and stuff, right? But
no, I think that's pretty good for context. So
okay.
I know the one prize Pokemon are not as strong, obviously.
Yeah, generally, one prize Pokemon tend to be a little weaker because they're only worth 1 prize. Cards like these tend to be 2 prize Pokemon because they tend to be stronger, so it's kind of an attempt to balance out the game. Yep, it's kind of similar to Yu-Gi-Oh's tribute system where higher star monsters tend to be stronger and stuff. So,
right. So if you get to put 2 Pokemon that don't have a rule from the discard pile, so it's ones you've used already or discarded.
Right, you get to do the smaller ones. Yep. Yeah, he's kind of like a double monster born in that sense. Right. Yeah.
How does evolution work when you evolve this? Do you stack this on top of the previous Lugia, or is the Lugia V going to be the discard?
No, the Lugia V stays in the discard. So yeah,
no, the Lugia V stays on the underneath the Lugia V star.
So the way to bring this out is, you play Lugia V on your first turn, and then on the following turn, you play this from your hand to evolve Lugia V into Lugia V star. Yep.
Yeah, and it just stays on top. So they're both there.
It's weird
because they're both on the field.
It's weird because unlike a traditional Charmander evolving to Charmeleon, this one's like Lugia evolving into also Lugia.
Lugia before and after Ash plays the flute. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know there's double colorless. That's been around forever. So
for more context, I will say right now in the standard format, double colorless energy doesn't exist. But we do have a card called Double Turbo Energy, which provides 2 double colorless, but the Pokemon attached to does 20 less damage. So.
Oh, I mean that's fine. You're swinging for 2.
I'll even go further and say that double turbo energy is a popular card in the format too. So they do play that as an option.
No, this card's good. You're gonna have cards in the grave from your supporter. Yeah, this is good.
Even though Tempest cost 4, not 2.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna no big deal.
Oh, yeah, you got it, Austin. This card's busted. This card is the boogeyman of the format. All the top 8s are 7 of these decks and one random guy that got lucky with his rogue deck.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so the big combo is there's a card in the game called Archeops, which it's an evolved Pokemon and stuff. But yeah, because of this, you can kind of skip the evolution step and just get the 2 Archeops into the discard pile, use the Summoning Star ability, bring them both out, and their abilities let you attach energy onto your Pokemon.
What?
Yep, so then you use those to attach energy on Lugia, and then you play that double turbo, and on turn 1, you just whack him in the face for 200. There's another card called, Choice Band, which does 30 extra, so you're just doing 230, you're knocking out everything. This card's...
You can put Pokemon that aren't basic Pokemon onto your bench with this?
Yep.
Yes, you just can't do Vs and V-Stars, GX.
I didn't even think of that.
Right, no, that's.
And Archeops is a fossil Pokemon, so it's really hard to do it the regular way.
Because you need to play this item called Unidentified Fossil, which sucks,
Yeah.
But this
skipping the
this skips over that. You don't have to play any Garnets. You can just discard 2 Archeops with an Ultra Ball, search a V-Star, slap Lugia V-Star down, do 200 damage right away. This card's absolutely insane. The weakness to Lightning's great because Lightning's not very popular right now. It's a rogue strategy that people do specifically to counter things like this in Palkia. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's Lugia.
Seems good. Seems very good.
And I think that might be all I had. I don't know if I had any. No, I think we've reached end. So that's it. That's our you guys did pretty good. A little mixed results, but yeah, I did throw a lot of debates your way and stuff.
I think
yeah,
we did good.
Yeah,
we had a good idea on a lot of those.
So yeah.
I need to brush up on my Yu-Gi-Oh.
He's gonna study every single Yu-Gi-Oh card. I was gonna start it just for the next one.
While you were busy studying the blade, I was studying the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah.
Never gonna look at a monster with question mark attack the same way again.
Oh man, I gotta start finding some banger question mark monster attacks because there are some out there that are bangers, man. Just to throw you guys more. Yeah, I tried doing a quick mix of a few and stuff. I tried not doing too many goods or too many bads in a row, so kind of mix them up and stuff. So yeah, I think we had a lot of fun here and stuff. Any final words, Austin? We're ready to get out of here. I think we've been talking for 2 hours now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Not really any final words.
Can we find you anywhere on social media?
No, not really.
All right. Where can they find you, Zeke? Do you want to throw in your TCGO account, maybe?
Yeah, What is my TCGO account?
It's Ezekiel 98 or something, right?
Probably. That's what most of my stuff is.
We'll put Ezekiel's. Do you want you put in the description, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. We'll put Ezekiel's TCGO account in the description.
Yeah. I think I have 4 friends on TCGO, so there's plenty of space.
I think people can find Austin on Master Duel, right? Do you want us to throw your Master Duel follower code on there?
God. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just making small talk.
The real code was the friends who made them.
The real code was the friends who made them along the way.
Yeah, no, I think that should be the name of the podcast. It's a little long though.
Yeah.
But if you abbreviate it, it's just TFWMAT.
That was really good.
There we go.
All right, yeah, you can find me at Billy from Korea everywhere. So, all right, guys, you have a good one. Eat vegetables, don't play tournament, and yeah, if you're playing Lugia V-Star, make it interesting at least. All right, bye. All right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Go say something, Zeke.
Yeah, we're doing a little test.
Testing.
You have to speak to the microphone. Well, here, I'll just...
Well, like, how close do we have to be to the microphone?
You want to make out with the mic.
I want to make out with the mic? I can cheat on you with the microphone?
Yeah, face fuck it right now.
Right now?
Yeah, like right there.
Right there?